So, as the transition said, 777 Club Mini free mini tip. Now, this one here, and often these tips are very mechanical because that's one of the desires that I've had and the perspectives maybe that I've taken really from the beginning back in 2004 was for my own purposes and then sharing it with you guys was taking some of these concepts, principles, philosophies, theories that sometimes use really kind of ephemeral words and phrases, and you're going, well, that really sounds fancy and fluffy, but what the hell do I do with it and how can I use it today? And so that's something that I've done again for myself and then sharing it with you guys, which is really where geometrics was birthed. Many of you have seen that, circles and triangles and all that cool stuff. Topic for another discussion. What I wanted to talk about in this show is something that's popped up this week. It popped up in my mind, my awareness. The phrase warriors in training. Now, I received this phrase, as I said, when I started this journey way back in 2004. Many of you have heard this story, sitting underneath this weeping willow tree, figuring out what this meditation stuff was. And there was like a world beneath the world that we see. And I probably hadn't watched it yet, but I know early on I'd watched a movie called The Celestine Prophecy, which is really good. There's a series of books and there was this movie that was made about it. That the world is so much more than this thin physical veneer that we call physicality. So sitting underneath this tree, I actually received the words and the flavoring of it, I guess you would say, a picture in my mind of warriors in training. And I really like that word warrior. And who knows, maybe we'll do some talking about that in the future. But for now, the context I wanted to just talk briefly about was many of you have been on your journey for quite some time now. Some of you have maybe just started. And probably the best, I don't want to say advice. The most powerful thing I've learned since the beginning is that we really are warriors. Now, for me, the context of that is a warrior is not someone that's looking for a battle, but they also are very aware that as they move, grow, expand, and evolve, the battle may find them. So a warrior in this context is one that really is looking for peace, but understanding that the battle may find them as they're experiencing that journey toward and in and through peace. So that's kind of in a nutshell the context of warrior. You can go on the internet and in about 37 seconds, you could do a search and you could download a meditation or the secret mantra or the missing secret or the whatever, that if you just do this in 3 days, you'll have your Maserati and be fabulously wealthy and travel the world and all that kind of stuff. And you will never have any problems or challenges. Now, whether it's consciously shared that way or sort of unconsciously shared that way, I don't know, probably a mixture of both. But I think that's one of the, and this is why for myself, I've always tried to keep it real with you guys and not, I mean, I'm not saying this is a journey of just, oh God, ultimate sacrifice and dragging your ass through the gravel and all that kind of stuff at all. But it's also not one that's just littered with roses and sunshine and you just kind of float from one thing to the other. Theoretically, is that possible? Yeah, I suppose. But practically, probably not. And I can just about guarantee practically it isn't. Now, this isn't a bad thing. But understanding that none of this stuff is magic. There are mechanics behind it. And since I've been on this journey, so 2004, so what are we at, 16 years or something like that? The science that has just exploded in that time that validates so many of these, if you want to call them spiritual teachings, that at one point in time were just spiritual teachings, and now really hardcore peer-reviewed data is supporting and understanding that, holy cow, there's actually science to this stuff. Wow, look at that. We can measure it, we can watch it. And that's the thing that's important to remember, is it's not magic. It can feel magical, absolutely. And it can sometimes feel like you're going through the seventh ring of hell kind of thing as well. And so it's important to understand that both of those are true. Now, do we go looking? And this is me and my phrases and stuff, but I'm not saying that we go looking for demons under every couch cushion. Because again, what you focus on, you're going to get more of. So if you're going out looking for a battle, then you're probably going to find, I'm rambling a little bit here, but that's okay. I'm just going to do it. I watched a documentary a long time ago, and it was Exorcist. And so there was I don't know the denomination or the area or the region or anything like that at all. It showed this one exorcism, and it was somebody with, and this is just what I saw, right? I'm not saying anything more than that. It's the whole flavoring of it. And they were kind of waving this document, let's say, at this person, is kind of, come out, you unclean spirit. And this person was snarling, and this was a documentary, right? And they're getting rid of this demon. And then they showed another one that was, it's somewhere in Asia, I don't know where. And it was another exorcism. So these people that were possessed, they were laying on a mat, and the exorcist was kind of going around, and they were just kind of doing whatever they were doing. And it was the most peaceful, serene thing you ever saw. And, I don't know. I think sometimes we find ourselves in both of those. Sometimes it is that just nice, peaceful releasing, and off we go. And other times it's like, and then sometimes it feels like they're doing the same thing back to us, right? It's them voices, right? Them voices in your head. And there's some days that you're riding herd on those voices. You're the leader of your pack, and you're going, we're going this way, and they're in line, and everything's good. And then there's other days you're going to get your ass kicked. And you're going to feel like, I don't know, quitting and giving up. What the hell was I thinking? And this is probably okay, here's the point of the whole thing. We have been conditioned in this community so often that when we have those, I call them dragon slayer moments, that we've decided we must be doing something wrong. Because if we were doing everything right, or like this 1495 meditation that we downloaded 3 days ago, and you can levitate by tomorrow evening and all that kind of stuff. If things aren't just roses and sunshine, we must be doing something wrong. Which is one of the biggest, it's the biggest fallacy we sometimes so often fall under, myself included at times. Is that if I'm doing everything right, I should never have any problems. I should never have any challenges. I should never have those times when I absolutely get my ass kicked and sort of haul my broken, decrepit body off in the corner and go, that's it. I'm done. I'm tapping out. Take me now. Sort of thing, right? And I chuckle about it, but I tell you, when those things are happening, that's the last thing you feel like doing. This is a journey, and for those that choose to embrace it to its fullest, there is amazing glory. It's one of the best words. Strong. Whoa, that was strong. One of the best words that comes to my awareness is there is glory, and it's there for you. And I've experienced it. I did a video. I was in teaching in Oahu, and after I was done teaching, I went to a Bedouin temple. And I actually did a video there. It's on the YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel about, the title was kind of without challenges, there is no glory. I also did another one. I think it was a picture from the beach in, oh goodness. Oceanside, I think. Okay, I remember now. Anyway, down in California. And it was it's going to be gone now. Sort of the magnitude of the challenges are equal to the glory that is on the other side of it. And so if you're doing well today and riding high, that's perfect. You just enjoy that momentum and you just keep it rocking and rolling. And it's not like you're like, oh God, when's it going to end? And when's this bad thing going to happen? Don't go looking for it, but understand it may show up. And if it does show up, you're not doing anything wrong. In a really kind of ironic way, you may be doing something right. Because one of Newton's, I don't know if it's the first law, probably isn't, but anyway, one of Newton's laws is for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So in this ironic way, if you're riding high and then you hit this peak, and then it feels like you just get your feet knocked out from under you, right? And you go, what the hell just happened? In this ironic way, that's one of the best indicators that you've made a breakthrough. And you see, for those that have vision, they're able to see through. This is really good. Able to see through those obstacles, challenges, the ass kicking they got to the other side. Even if you can't see what the other side looks like. And this, wow, I did not plan on saying this. To choose to see my hashtag living from the other side, even when you can't see what the other side looks like, is so incredibly powerful. To choose to see the other side when you really, really don't feel like it. To choose to see the other side when all you can see around you is like fires burning. To choose to see the other side even when you're in pain. Right? To choose to see that other side. In so many respects, you're doing nothing wrong. You're probably doing everything right. And so often, it's right after, I'll call them those victories, that then the challenge comes and tries to take away the victory. Again, don't go looking for this. But to me, it's important that you're aware if, and I probably more accurately, when it shows up. And when it shows up, know that you're not doing anything wrong. You're probably doing an awful lot right. And that's that point in time. Think of a warrior. They don't go looking for a fight. They know sometimes one will find them. And there's going to be some they win. And there's going to be some they get their ass kicked and they crawl off. And they take time to heal. But not for 1 second do they ever entertain the possibility that they're not, as soon as they can move again, that they're not going right back out there. And to me, warriors in training is exactly what that's about. Doesn't mean we win every time. Sometimes we just mess it up really, really deeply and badly. Sometimes we hit the tree full on and smash and crash. And if we do, we do. And if we're wounded, we're wounded. And if we feel like giving up and quitting, we feel that. We feel those wounds. Not for 1 second do we contemplate. As soon as we have any amount of strength and determination and fortitude left in us, we get right back up and we keep walking towards the glory that's on the other side. Even though you may not see it right now, know that it is there. That was really, really good. And why things are so different now is what I'm going to talk about in the conversion portion of the show. So let's head over there now.